in Canton on Dressler Road across from the Holiday Inn. henrybball.com.
All right, we have been mentioning this all morning long. A very exciting day yesterday for the folks at the Canton Palace Theater. And we have with us this morning the executive director of the Palace Theater, Georgia Paxos. And this is a day I think this young lady has been waiting for a very long time. Good morning, Georgia.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, I'm so glad you could be here. So this is the announcement of your 100th anniversary capital project. So tell me all of the steps leading up to this. Well, probably time to talk about all of them, but
it has been, it's definitely been a process. We knew our 100th anniversary was coming up. We had talked about things that we could do, how we're going to celebrate. And then in November of 2021, we were approached by the building owners, the properties directly behind us on 6th Street. And they were looking to retire, and they asked if we would be interested in purchasing their buildings. And so that started a whole bunch of conversations that we didn't think we were going to have. But then we started having conversations on the board, and it's like, what do we want to be? What do we want to do for the next 100 years? And so we knew that we wanted to be more, and we knew that we could be more than what we currently were. And we knew that we definitely did not want to pass up on the opportunity for an expansion. It's been something that we've heard from customers and renters and promoters for years now, that your lobby's so tight, your dressing rooms, like there's a lot of them, but they're really small. Artists want to recreate their living rooms in our dressing rooms, and we just can't do that. And we knew that we were missing out on shows because they were going to other venues that are definitely have been updated, have been come with all the bells and whistles that we just didn't have. So that started lots of conversations with our promoters and our renters and our patrons, and just started making a checklist of things that we wish we had and wish we could have. And then we started meeting with Modern Meadows architects to start putting some plans together, started having some conversations in the community about if there was support for something like this. And we started getting a lot of, hey, this would be great, this would be great, this would be great. So we just started moving forward, and we were super excited to be able to announce yesterday this 100th anniversary $16 million expansion project for the Palace.
And this is going to have just a profound effect on the community. I mean, obviously, folks know that it'll be a big change and a wonderful thing for you guys and what you're able to offer. But in general, how it affects the community will be wonderful.
Absolutely. I mean, it is, as I mentioned, it's a transformative project, not just for our organization, but for our entire downtown. We'll have event space that'll be available for the community. We'll be able to do pre-movie, pre-concert events in that space. We'll have a secondary lobby that you see there on 6th Street that's kind of in purple there. That will help alleviate a lot of the congestion in the current lobby. If you've been to a sold-out show, it is definitely a sea of humanity that forms there, and I don't think everybody wants to be that up close and personal with everybody anymore. So spreading everybody out along a new lobby on 6th Street with concession areas to help get everybody in and out and back into their seats during intermission. Right now, when we have a concert, we have to shut down 6th Street to allow for the semi trucks and the tour buses. And so putting in a loading dock area and then an equipment staging area in the back will alleviate the need to shut down 6th Street. From here on out, we're also adding an outdoor event space, which we are looking to have it mimic the new streetscape from Court Avenue, from that reimagining project, adding some additional dressing rooms. But one of the biggest components is the accessibility. Right now, we only have 4 wheelchair seats in the entire building. And we were grandfathered into all of the ADA requirements, but we have about 30% of our community is somehow physically disabled, which means we are missing out on a ton of our patrons, our local patrons, being able to enjoy a show at the Palace. And so adding in an elevator that will take you upstairs to the balcony, making the balcony finally accessible to those that are disabled. We'll have additional ADA seating, we'll have additional ADA bathrooms, and an additional concession stand upstairs. So it's really checking the boxes of all the things that we wish we had, that everybody else wishes we had, to make this a reality and to unveil it for our 100th anniversary.
And a couple of things. First of all, I think probably people don't realize, some people don't realize that you guys are a nonprofit. So this is also a fundraising venture for you guys.
Absolutely. We are a nonprofit organization. We have been since 1980, since the theater reopened. And so that means that your donations to this project are 100% tax deductible. So we have a very generous and very loving community, but it is going to take a combination of straight donations, fundraising events, local, state, and federal grants, local, state, just foundation grants as well, to make this a reality. We're really confident that we're going to be able to make this happen and raise the $16 million to make this project happen, for not just for us, but for the entire community.
So when will we start to see things happening? What's the timeline on all of this?
Ideally, the timeline to meet our goal of November of 2026 is to start construction next fall. There will be times where we can definitely stay operational, and there will be times where we need to close the theater to allow for the construction to progress. We know construction is, the timeline is not definite, and it's a 100-year-old building, and we know there's going to be some by the ways. So, and we know that our 100th anniversary is going to span an entire year. So sometime between November of 26 and November of 27, we'll be unveiling this beautiful new space.
All right. Well, this interview has been live on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel, so you can go back and check it out anytime you want to. And Georgia, we appreciate you coming on this morning. I'm very excited about this, and I know you are too. And we're going to keep checking in with you to get updates and see how things are going.
Absolutely.
Give that website for folks to go check things out.
Sure. The project website is cantonpalace100.com. You can see all the renderings. You can see all of the information that we gathered. We did a market study over the summer. You'll be able to see the final report of the market study that kind of backs up all of the data and everything that we had. But all of the information is there, cantonpalace100.com. And you can also make your donation right on that website.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll talk.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Coming up in minutes, Jim Michaels with your local, state, and national news here on 1480.